Emotion, drama, basketball, more emotion, more drama. The list goes on and on. Let's talk about The Last Dance. What's going on, you guys? James here with another real review, and today I'm taking a look at episodes 7 and 8, and we're talking all about, The Last Dance, the ESPN documentary centering around the 90s Bulls and Michael Jordan. Trust me, tonight was one for the books, and honestly brings possibly the highest of highs for this series yet. But before we get into what I loved and what I didn't really love too much about these episodes, if this is your first time here at the channel, welcome to Real James. And now if you're wondering who that is, that's me, and I love talking all about movies and TV. So if you like what you hear and what you see, go ahead and hit the big red button below and subscribe to the channel. Tap the bell so you don't miss anything. And guys, thank you for your love and support. We're almost at 1,500 subscribers. It's wild. I love you guys, and I'm thankful for your feedback and for liking videos just like this, sharing it with your friends, and don't forget, comment below and let me know what you thought of episodes 7 and 8. Sorry, I was getting a little choked up. Just thinking about these episodes really kind of put me in a certain frame of mind where you take the athlete out of MJ and you replace it with the human side of MJ. And these episodes are just amazing bits of storytelling, and Jason Hehir does a great job again with everything from top to bottom. So let's waste no more time and get right into what really worked for episodes 7 and 8. So episode 7 opens up with the 1998 playoff series versus the Nets, and I figured, okay, we're getting a lot of basketball tonight. But they did center around, and this was for about an hour straight, of the James Jordan murder, the murder of Michael Jordan's father, and it really broke my heart to see how he was dealing with it and coping with it. I mean, he retired from basketball for the first time because of his father's death, and unfortunately it really sucked, being a journalism major and a journalist myself, to see how other journalists were dealing with the James Jordan murder. It wasn't headlines showing empathy or trying to get this human side of the story. Unfortunately, they were theorizing, and they were trying to come up and speculate with maybe Michael Jordan's gambling was the reason why his father died, and I think it was untimely. Yes, I get it, journalists have to grab headlines, but you don't do that at the expense of a human being, especially at a time like this. It didn't work for me. Maybe that's just not my type of journalism, but I didn't think it was proper, and it broke my heart to see how he coped with it. And he went to the Chicago White Sox and played baseball, but this is the essence of The Last Dance. It takes the basketball out of certain situations and it replaces it again with that humane side. That's what I love about Jason Hehir and what he did with combining the archival footage once again with the storytelling. The pacing here was probably the best and well-paced episode of the series so far. And me personally, when I was growing up, I didn't know much about Michael Jordan's baseball career. I mean, I knew that the Chicago White Sox were the team he was playing for, but then I learned very quickly he was just in the minors, and then there was that baseball strike, and then he didn't want to cross the picket line, and eventually, went back to the Bulls and announced that he is gonna play once again with the most epic line of the night. It wasn't even a line that he spoke, it was just on a fax. It says, "I'm back." And that was how he entered back into the NBA. And I thought that him coming out of retirement, it was very timely for the NBA, because you can start to see there was like a shift where they didn't have that dominant superstar. And then MJ coming back, it was like, oh, the league it's awake. We're back, baby. We're the best league in the world again, because MJ is now playing basketball. But then you couple this episode with 8, and I think that following hour of TV was very much speaking to the basketball fan again. And then somehow Jason Hehir just brings it back emotionally. And you see how MJ and the Bulls won that 96 finals series against the Seattle Supersonics, and then he's crying on the ground because they won the title on Father's Day. And it's almost wonderful because you feel like the 2 hours you spent with these pair of episodes really paid off. The one thing I did kind of miss here were the big standout interview subjects. I do love getting the players' perspective. And yes, that's the essence of this story, but I didn't necessarily think that we were getting a lot of those moments where you're like, that's the interview, I love this one. Except for the end, Gary Peyton, the glove. I mean, as a Heat fan, trust me, I love him more on the Miami Heat, but he was a dominant force on the Seattle Supersonics. And his interview was the best because it was raw and it was really just full of genuine emotion. And I think that it's great that Michael Jordan has nothing against him either, but it was really just cool to see how both of them kind of brought out the best of each other on the court. Now, what I will say is that I think a lot of people are going to find episode 8 boring, and heck, a lot of people might not think episode 8 even holds water against episode 7 because of all of that emotion with James Jordan. And you know, I get it, there's more drama in episode 7 than there is 8, but the thing is about 8 is that it just complements episode 7 so well, because you go from being very sad for the first hour, and then the second hour you're kind of happy again, and then at the end it's almost that bittersweet feeling where you're very happy for Michael Jordan while you understand that a big part of his life is missing, his father. And it is such beautiful storytelling, and this is again why this documentary series is one of the best that I've ever seen. I mean, we get to see how Michael Jordan rebuilds himself into basketball shape, and you know, Tim Grover, his personal trainer, was just totally patient with him. And then you do start to see a little bit about him getting into Hollywood, you know, with Space Jam and the Jordan Dome, and them going to the Warner Brothers a lot and actually having pickup games during the off season. It was incredible. I've never seen anything like that, and I love the behind the scenes of them filming. You know, clearly as a film critic, it's nice to see that. So I do love the context that a lot of this material provides, and as an audience member, I was satisfied tonight. So if you have to ask me, are these the strongest pair of episodes so far? Because I know next week is, you know, 9 and 10, so it's the finale for this documentary. I do think that this is probably top 3, and I can definitely tell you that this series has not disappointed yet. And that's incredible, because I figured, oh my gosh, my biggest concern was 10 episodes. Are we going to get kind of tired? And maybe it's going to feel like it's being drawn out towards the end. But if anything, I feel like the series is picking up every single week. Oh, and for fans of the music, yeah, this is probably going to be one of the weaker weeks. Such a weird statement. But you're not going to find a lot of very notable songs here that you're going to want to add to your playlist. If you want those awesome songs that kind of really play well next to the highlight reels, go back to previous weeks, and maybe the finale is going to really bring it all home when it comes to the musical department. But here it didn't really need it, and also I don't think it was very strong. So yeah, I mean, you're still getting a great pair of episodes, and this was 2 hours well spent. Well, there you have it, you guys. That's my review of episodes 7 and 8, and yeah, I never thought we would get a documentary series like this, and it exceeded my expectations. So I am incredibly satisfied, and also a little sad that we're seeing the end of it next week. So let me know in the comments below, you guys, what you thought of these episodes, and also don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and if you haven't already, you guys, please go ahead and hit the big red button below and subscribe to the channel. Again, I am so thankful for you guys and your support. This week is going to be so much fun. We got a lot to talk about, and if you haven't already, go ahead and find my Kimmy versus the Reverend review down below. It's a Netflix original movie. It's interactive, so it's going to be fun for everyone. Alright, y'all. You know what time it is. Bedtime. I'm tired. Again, thanks so much for watching, you guys, and I'll catch you at the next screening.